Well, hello and welcome and welcome and hello. My name is Danny Deals. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. On behalf of Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen, we would like to say hello and welcome. Guys, today, ending with a Y, we are going to talk to you about Sofi Technologies Incorporated, ticker symbol SOFIs. Guys, the stock was down 8 cents on the day or 0.85%, down another 8 cents after hours or 0.86%. If you look at the stock, guys, the volume has been 27 million today. Volume is low this week. The stock price is being highly controlled by an algo. You see, it was being held, right around that $10 level. The channel was basically 980 to 10, stepped all the way down, and it's been trading in like a 920 to 940 channel over the last 2 days. So the algo is just firmly in control of the stock. If you look at the Nasdaq, the pattern changed from last week, guys. It was kind of up and down. There were more organic dips and valleys. Pushed way up on Friday and then just sold off overnight. And you can see it's this is an accumulation. I believe they're selling it off overnight and then accumulating during the day, selling it off and then open and then just accumulating all day. That seems to be what we're doing. What's going on with options, guys? This is like the old school. They did not pump the options on Monday or Tuesday. I firmly believe market makers opened a lot of these options. I believe they have to pump these probably tomorrow, if not early on Tuesday, so they can get some of this dog poop off the books. These 10,000 calls at 9 are down 20%, 15,000 calls at 950 down 28%, $10 calls down 37%, and so on. Um, if history is any guide, guys, what they're going to do is pump the share price momentarily, dump a lot of these options on retail, close some other positions, make their money, and then basically stick retail with the bags and kill the options on Friday. But we'll have to see, guys. I'm taking a quick look at the chart. It's the chart master. Guys, looking at this dotted line in green here, you see starting all the way back in December 28th of 2022. This line is support. We see this big pump, comes back down below this line, then flips to resistance once, twice. We see this in crazy sell off with the Chia Pet Army short attack, but I wouldn't pay it no mind. It came right back up actually quite quickly. When you look at things, broke through the line, and ever since then, guys, with some little tails coming down, but this line is basically flipped to support. My contention is that somewhere out here, the $10 level is going to flip from resistance to support, just like we did here with the $8 level. $8 was firm resistance for the stock going back a long time. Busted through here and it tested at 8 twice and came off that. Now we just tested 9 twice, guys, and we've come back off that. We just have to see if we come back off it again. This shorter term support line that was started back in May, we're hitting that line. This longer term, or it could be, you could kind of count it as shorter if you start it here in June with these dates, or you could, like I said, go all the way back to December, and this line still holds up, guys. That's one of the great things about, a support or a resistance line or a trend line, whatever it is. If it goes back a long way and the share price keeps gravitating toward that line, you see it as support, you see it as resistance, you see many data points as you do with this line. I like it. This line, this red dotted line that was resistance, it's bounced off that now 3 times. Triple top pattern. I believe this is the time it breaks through. There's just a hell of a lot of there should be a hell of a lot of upward pressure there. That's my belief. These trend lines hold up. I believe right about here, guys, right about here, we're going to flip this $10 level to support. And I just think this exact same thing's going to happen as happened with 8. Guys, I'm asking you, where is this not an upward trend? I mean, We came off of the fours just back in May. We were just down in the fives in June, low fives, I believe. And then, the stock tore up to run up to $10 and 20 some cents. Came back at earnings, guys. You have to just ignore this pump and dump right here, guys. It just was not ready for this. It didn't make any sense. But if you come into a little bit shorter time frame of what we're talking about, I'll just take this. We've broken down, and you can see, guys, these trend lines are looking quite good. We see, a lot of data points once, twice, three tests, and then it just completely consolidates right in this little intersection and is just sort of like, momentarily consolidating right there, which is a really good sign for me. We're trying to stay above that 50-day. And I think the stock is really prone to break out above 10 and challenge that recent high there in the 11s. Guys, as far as the press the stock is getting, it's somewhat neutral. This is a good article. I would just invite you to take a look at it. It's all over on Seeking Alpha. Penny stocks today. Strong Q2 is a step toward Q4 profitability. Just basically goes through the ER, but provides some actual useful analysis. It's talking about the stock fact that the stock is up 45%, but he's still a buy. American digital banks have increased their share of new checking accounts open in 2023 to 47%. Digital banks are getting just about half of the new accounts, while regional banks and mega banks have declined to 21% and 17% respectively. And guys, you can see that in this trend here. 2020 36%. So just in the last 3 years, guys, the percentage of new accounts opening at digital banks has gone from 36 to 47%, which is a hell of an increase in just a couple of years there. While by itself this would be a great indication of the future of SoFi and digital banking, what's more impressive is that SoFi quadrupling its market share from 1% to 4% 2020 to 2023. They bypassed Wells Fargo, which fell from 8.1 to 3.5. While this doesn't necessarily mean people are ditching mega banks in favor of digital banks, you can have an account in more than one bank. It indicates people are more open to the idea of digital banks. That is probably due to the bulk of new accounts belonging to relatively young customers. 72% of new checking accounts belong to Gen Z and millennials. With more than 28.87 million Gen Z Americans under the age of 18, this number will further increase since 4 million Gen Zers open new bank accounts per year. And that's what we're talking about, guys. SoFi has young customers. A lot of people make fun of that. They're like, oh, they're broke. They're not. These are the people that are digital. These are the people that are spending money. Young people spend their money. That's why SoFi is doing so well. That's why they're growing. That's why they're growing the top line. That's why they're marching toward profitability toward the end of this year. SoFi achieved 488 million in adjusted net revenue, added 584,000 new members in Q2 2023. Met analysis EPS estimate of 0.06 cent loss. The 488 million adjusted net revenue came more than 8 million above management's high-end forecast of 480. At the same time, the 580,000 members stopped a startling trend of a slower sequential member growth than the digital bank was suffering since Q1 2022. And as a percentage, guys, people have been talked about in Q1. This dropped. It was 12, 12, 10, 10. This is quarterly member growth by percentage. And then in Q1 2023, it was just down to 8%. Came back up to 10%, where it's been the two previous quarters. So that is excellent news, guys, to get back on the positive trend. While the revenue beat is good news for SoFi, I believe it should have realized more revenue based on the 580,000 members added, since there's a strong correlation between its total members and its revenue. I would agree with that. Furthermore, in Q2 2023, recorded its lowest revenue per member. And again, this does come with adding some members that just are not bringing in any revenue. And there are those members, and that is, legitimate thing to say. Credit checks, Relay, maybe they applied for a loan but did not receive a loan, were referred to another place where they also didn't get. So maybe there's just no revenue for some of these customers from SoFi. But SoFi's revenue per member per quarter has basically. It was Q4 2021. It was about 8 cents, pushed all the way up to almost 9 cents, and has fallen back down to 8 cents. The all time high was 13 cents in Q3 2020. And the same thing is basically going on with revenue per product. It's 53 cents. It was 54 cents in Q4 2021. Came up as high as 58 and is back down to 53. And again, same exact thing. The top was Q3 2020. That said, I believe the decline can be attributed to rising interest rates, 3.25 to 5.25, and it should get better when the Fed starts to cut interest rates again. Loan originations were up year over year by a whopping 37%. Even though home loan originations declined 37%, it's really a big deal since it only makes around 5% of loan originations. It isn't a big deal, excuse me, the home loans. What is impressive is the digital bank maintaining the 50% growth in personal loan originations in the third consecutive quarter now and reaching a record personal loan originations of 3.7 billion. Talking about second half surprise, they're basically talking about the non-interest expense and the growth thereof, which is actually slowing quite a bit. Non-interest expense growth was 24% Q4 2022, down to 22.16% in Q3 2023. With these numbers, we can then project SoFi's net loss to be around minus 34 million or 0.05 EPS. Members, so guys, this goes through and then they go through the risks. One of the biggest risks facing any is the delinquency rate. Delinquency rates have been climbing since start of 2022, approaching pre-pandemic levels. If that continues, it will put banks' revenue at risk. While SoFi's personal loan borrowers have pretty high average income, 164,000, and high weighted FICO score of 769, delinquency is still a risk to take into consideration. And that's, even though they do have a very high quality of borrower, if the economy gets really, really bad, unemployment goes really, really high, those will go up for SoFi. Perhaps not as much as other institutions with lower quality lenders, but they definitely will go up. Looking at the daily chart, SoFi's trend is neutral, trading in a sideways channel, 781 to 1023. That's kind of what we're talking about. I think they're going to flip that $10 level and start trading in a new channel above that, according to my trend lines, as we've just discussed. As for the indicators, the stock is trading above the 2150 and 200-day moving averages. Of course, this information might be slightly out of date. RSA is overbought at 75. MACD is bullish. It's worth noting that SoFi has broken its 1023 resistance after its release of Q2 earnings. Yeah, but that was a pump and dump, and that was a momentary lapse of reason. So let's just not get into that and pay it too much mind. Since I expect SoFi to have a decent Q3 and turn in profitable Q4, retest of the 21 and moving average and the 886 support will be good entry points ahead of the Q3 earnings. Yeah, I said anything below $8.91. That's what I've been saying. So I'm right on the same page with this penny stock all-star. Conclusion, I believe SoFi can increase its market share as more young people become able to open checking accounts. Furthermore, SoFi had a decent Q2 earnings with revenue beat and breaking the deceleration of member growth. While the lower revenue per member can be concerning, I believe it's a temporary decline. The revenue per member numbers will start to normalize as the Fed starts to cut rates. That said, I still believe the second half of the year will be a true turning point for the digital bank since I think it will achieve profitability in Q4 with a resumption of student loan payments. The decent Q2, SoFi had my prediction reaching its profitability Q4. Residual sums of student loan payments, and I make it hard. SoFi stock is anything but a strong buy. So penny stocks today is a strong buy. I don't know how much credence we should put in that, but there you have it. And guys, we have seen some upgrades, as I know. Mizuho, JP Morgan were up. There's, of course, the Wedbush reiteration down. But if you take a look, guys, just at the short interest today, just want to update you on that. The live short interest today, the borrowed change was 1 million. So the shorts dug in actually a little bit deeper, at least in terms of what they borrowed. That's how they do control the price, is through borrowing and through controlling the volume. So right now, guys, we're still sitting at 14.8%, 14.86% of the short interest of the free float. Free float on loan is less than 10%. That's way down. So the free float on loan, shares on loan, days to cover, cost to borrow, utilization are all down, but the estimated short interest of the free float is still flat. And it's just a little bit hard to piece this puzzle together, guys. But the bottom line is there's not a huge short on the stock, not an upstart level short, but there is a very, very significant short on the SoFi stock with 1.21 billion value in the short interest. So guys, anything interesting going on over here on the news side? Not much. As you know, we've fallen all the way down from doing like 90, 100 million, then 62 million, and then we've sort of been stuck in this 30 to 40 and even less. So SoFi Technologies 10Q for June 30th. I have no idea what this is. Just saw it pop up. SoFi Technologies are registrant. Financial statements. Oh, this is everything. Okay, yeah, guys, this is the financial statement for the latest earnings report. Just, I guess they just filed this thing, or it just popped up on Ortex or whatever. But maybe we'll go over the 10Q a little bit later on in the week when I have a little bit more time. But guys, for now, that's the SoFi stock. The ticker symbol is SOFI. The show is Un Poco Mas. My name is Danny Deals for Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen. We'd like to say we really appreciate you watching Un Poco Mas today. And we hope you have a great rest of your evening. SoFi again down 9 cents after hours, sitting at $9.22. Guys, the date is August 8/8/23. The time is 1:49 p.m. out here in beautiful Los Angeles. Market's been closed for almost an hour now. And the SoFi stock down about 2 cents on the day. And we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. You guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you then. Thank you.